You can't go back. It's over, kid. Do you realize this? Realize where we are on the timeline. You can't go back. And this is where a lot of people mess up in this very critical moment. Overwhelmed with fear, fear of the unknown, your nervous system rattling. You think that you can go back. You could go back to the old way. You could go back to the Matrix. But it's over, kid. And instead of retreating, instead of going back to what you used to do, you don't fit into this world anymore. You have ascended. You've raised your frequency. You can't go back. So just keep going. Hello everyone, I am Michael and I help guide people on the evolutionary journey. It's over, kid. Congratulations. You're probably terrified, but don't worry. Your Uncle Mike is going to guide you through it. Many people across the world have gone through a shift. And now they're living from the heart space. They're living their life according to their soul, and they're no longer living their life according to the systems, subconscious programs, societal expectations. And once you've gone through the shift, you can't go back. You can't go back to that old job. You can't go back to that old way of maybe trying to find a relationship. You have to move forward. You can't fill the void. You see, what happens in life, a void occurs because your old life disintegrated. And what people do is they try to rush and go back to some of the old ways. They go back to their old habits, their old job. Don't go back to that ex, bro. You got to keep moving forward, right? You can't go back to that 9-to-5 job that wasn't serving your soul. You can't do it anymore. And this is happening in the world. This is a deep soul shift. And, you know, when we look at the Schumann resonance, when we are experiencing solar flares like never before, you know, these things change us at an energetic level. And we can't go back. It's over. And you will go through the mourning process. You know, you thought you could go back to maybe your old neighborhood. A lot of people that resonate with this journey, you know, you have to leave your hometown. Is that you? Did you leave your hometown, or do you realize that you're going to have to leave your hometown in order to grow? You know, and that's because, you know, you're expanding. Some people hear this term expanded consciousness or expanded your frequency, right? You're so big right now, you're too cramped. You're too cramped up. Because of the subconscious programs and limiting beliefs, you're going to be surrounded by things that are going to remind you and bring you back to that old, you know, path that you took. You know, if you've already, you know, grown and you've done this like I have, you could go back and visit, but you're going to have to leave that hometown. You're going to have to start over fresh. You know, that relationship, you know, that type of relationship, if you will. You can't go back to the past. You can't go back to that club, bro. You can't pick up those dirtbag girls over there anymore. Nah, you need to move forward with your life with a divine feminine that's going to inspire you to constantly build, constantly lead, right? And if you are the divine feminine on your journey, you can't go back. You can't go back to that loser beta male. You can't go back to these things. Any aspect of your life, whether it comes from your health, wealth, relationship, or purpose, any one of these phases of your life, it's over. And you can't go back. And if you try to go back, you already went through a frequency shift and you're going to feel it inside of you. You can't go back to watching CNN and Fox News. Are you still watching that stuff? Give Uncle Mike the TV remote. I'll break it in half, bro. Get out of there, all right? Wake up, girl. Get off the CNN. Get off the Fox News. Start focusing on yourself. Focus on your family. Focus on your local community. These are the things that you got to stay focused on, and you can't go back. It's over. And I assure you, those that have already ascended, those that have done the inner work, you've had the internal frequency shift, you can't go back even if you tried, because your body, it's gonna reject it. You know, I talk about detox cleansing, right, improving your health and wellness on this channel, and you know, maybe, right, you were eating some processed foods, you were eating, you know, things that, you know, humans weren't actually even supposed to consume, and then you said, you know what, I used to eat this, you know, I'm gonna reintroduce it into my taste buds, if you will, and oh, it's disgusting. Your body's going to reject it. Well, you do the same thing. You're going to do the same thing with the modern woman of the world, right? You're going to do the same thing of the weak beta males of the world when it comes to a relationship, when it comes to the workplace. You can't go to the job no more. These jobs, they're not serving your family. It's not serving your community, right? It's about greed. You can't go back to those places, right? You can't go back. You can't go back to eating those old eating habits and going back and sitting in the drive-through for the fast food. What's in that fast food anyway? All right. So once you do these things, you can't go back, and it's over, kid. You know, and there's a big thing that a lot of people don't talk about, right? But let your Uncle Mike, I'm going to talk about it out here on the front line. It's this very powerful thing. It's called self-respect. And once you have respect for yourself, you can't go back to these things, right? So the inner shift comes from this very powerful word. It's called worthy. And I hope everyone that's getting this message across the world today, in the comment section, I want you to write, I am worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy of a great relationship. You are worthy of a great vocation, not a job, not being just over broke. You're worthy of great health and wellness. You're worthy of waking up every day feeling great, feeling happy, feeling vibrant. Okay, you're worthy, all right, of living in peace, enjoying a beautiful sunset, right, on your terms. You know, I recently talked about luxury on the podcast, right? And what is luxury? You know, luxury for me, right, is doing things on my own terms, right? That's the frequency. Luxury isn't, you know, having a certain type of car, right, for a certain social status, right? You know, coming out here in nature and enjoying the sunset, right, with some fine people that are out here in high vibes, that's luxury, because I do it on my own terms. I don't have to report to the boss. I don't have to report to the covert narcissist. I don't have to report to anyone. The only person that I deal with is God. You get it through your brain. And if that resonates with you, why don't you smash this like button? Because when we send this video out to millions of people, people are going to realize you can't go back. It's over, kid. And when you realize that it's over, you're going to go through the mourning phase. We're going to mourn the previous version of our life, right? But then you're going to move forward. You're going to get past that mourning phase, right? And then you're going to say, wow, this is an attitude of gratitude that comes over you. Do you have an attitude of gratitude? I have an attitude of gratitude. Regardless of the next steps of the journey, I reflect. I self-reflect. I sit out here. I say, wow, look at where I am in my life. And where was I pre-2020? Did you go through this shift as well? So anything in life, if you're ready for the next chapter of your everyday life, the best thing that you could do is stay focused on gratitude. What have you accomplished already? Even if it's something very small, and that's a frequency, that gratitude frequency. And when you're focused on that gratitude vibe, all of a sudden new things start flowing, because it's going to feel like you're pushing against the rocks. It's going to feel like you're pushing against the wall. You want to try to move these rocks? They ain't going to move, kid. You can't move the rock. You can't move the Delarock, kid, right? We are unstoppable. We are unmovable. I told you a long time ago, and this message lasts the test of time. A man of principle cannot be moved, and yet I remain. You're going to see this on your journey. You're going to say, God, why do I go through all these trials and tribulations? Why isn't anything easy? You're going to say, these other people, they have it easy, right? But I'm going to tell you out here in the light of Christ, light warriors, it's going to take you longer if you don't sell your soul. That's all you got, kid. At the end of the day, that's all you got. is your soul. Everything else goes back in the box. But the only thing that you take with you forever and ever is the legacy that you leave into what's called the Akashic Records. You know, a lot of people are concerned with their image on Instagram. Ooh, where's the modern woman? How you doing? They're all concerned with their Instagram following. They're concerned what's in the database. You should be concerned with God's database, and that is called the Akashic Records. And that's why on your journey, there are certain things you say, wow, you know, this is so easy for me because you've done it in past lives. And you came to Earth School. There was a woman years ago, her name was Dolores Cannon, and she called this Earth School. And in Earth School, you're here to fine-tune your skills. You're here to learn new talents. You're here to use the things that you've already developed, and you're going to use them to grow and expand and become better than you've ever been before. You can't go back. It's over. You know, many people have ascended. You've seen the ascended masters over the course of time. You've seen these people in history. But what's happening right now in the world, a large portion of humanity is doing this all at once. Isn't that fascinating? And I'm out here on the front line to guide you through this ascension jump. We're jumping, we're rising higher than ever before. And this is not no spiritual wackadoo stuff. This is your soul. So many people were disconnected from their soul. Right? Do you have a soul connection? Do you have a soul connection to God? Do you know thyself? That's what you got to do first. You're going to know thyself. You're going to be connected to God. That's the first soul connection. And then you're going to have your soul connections out there. You're going to go about your everyday life. You're going to say, oh, where did those people go? They weren't your soul connection, right? Because you had those people in your life, right? They came into your life because of programs, because of the frequency of the previous version of yourself. That's over, kid. I told you. And now, once you embrace and embody this, we're moving forward with our everyday lives. And we don't go backwards, okay? Once you wake up from the Matrix, you can't go back. You can't go back in the box. You know, that guy in the Matrix movie, he said, you know what, ignorance is bliss. And he said, yeah, put me back in the Matrix, right? But you can't go back in the Matrix. Once you wake up, you can't go back. And you're going to feel this at a deep, very deep level. And it's good, and those feelings that you have inside, and one of the places that you're going to feel this very strongly is in your gut. You ever hear, oh, I felt it in my gut? Well, when you listen to your gut, when you listen to your heart, these are the things that have to come before that demented brain. I have a demented brain? Yeah, you got a demented brain. Well, why is that? Oh, because it downloaded subconscious programs. Yeah, you got it from people, right? You might have got it from fake friends. You might have got it on the you might have got those programs watching the you might have got those programs on the TV. I saw it on TV. It's got to be real. I got to live my life this way. Wake TF up and let me be the one to slap you out of it. Let me be the one to snap you out of it. If I came up on your screen, how you doing? I'm here as the guide for everyday life people that are waking up from this BS. When you wake up from the Matrix, when you wake up from the chains, when you wake up from the subconscious programs, when you wake up from the dream. You've been in a dream and that dream's been a nightmare. But we're leaving the Matrix behind and we're moving to heaven on earth. And when you get this message and you embody it, I talk about embodiment on this channel. It's not enough to talk about it. In the modern era, people think that they know it all just because they have a ring light, they put makeup on, right? They put a big thing, you know, I'm a yogi master and all this other stuff. Practice what you preach, son. This is where we have to be. And this is where the sons and daughters of God take their rightful place. You have to move forward in your life with embodiment. And this comes in balance. Right? You have to understand your journey is about authenticity. You are the light and you embrace the shadows. And you move forward, not backwards. You can't go back. It's over, kid. And so it is. I appreciate each and every one of you. This energy is riveting through the collective right now. If you are feeling this very strongly right now, and you want to improve your everyday life, why don't you click the subscribe button? We have daily videos, 9 a.m. Eastern time, to help you become the greatest version of yourself. What do you want to work on now? What are you ready to level up and experience something that you've never experienced before? You might have seen all these people. You say, heck, you know what? I'm ready to experience a life where I'm healthy again, right? I want to experience a life where I'm wealthy again, right? I want to experience a life where I have true purpose, a vocation, not a job, not a cog in a matrix. Or you want a true soul connection. You want someone that loves you unconditionally, bro. Not some parasite, not some arm candy that's gonna steal half your pension, kid. You gotta wake up. And when you're ready for this transition, you're gonna get your unconditional love. You're gonna get your vocation over a job. You're gonna be healthy, wealthy, and you are gonna be empowered. I am the defender of our everyday lives. No matter what comes your way, light warriors, just keep going. I appreciate you all. This has been the journey of self-discovery and remembering. And if you made it to the end of this message, you have remembered who you truthfully are. And once you see it and you realize your God-given gifts, you can never go back. Don't fill the void. I appreciate each and every one of you. This is the true quantum shift. You're manifesting a brand new reality. Now, on to the next chapter of your everyday life.